question about PowerPoints, by the way, my own personal thing. Have you ever been to a place where you can't even read them if you had a magnifying glass on the printed one? That's what I groaned at. I've been to workshops where
They're not educators.
they're 3 to a slide, they're
Some of them
not.
are educators, that's the scary part.
Well, and there's those lines, like you're supposed to write things down, and and they're showing them to you too, and I can't read them there, nor can I read them here, and that's where I groaned.
Well, you know what, it's
I
funny
think
you say that,
that's
because
fine.
when I create my PowerPoint,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm a big, bold, big size.
Yes, yeah,
Because I gotta keep it, I mean, our classroom's even bigger than this one
Uh-huh.
in length. And so I gotta make sure the students sitting in the back can see what's up on the screen.
I think
yeah.
if you guys follow, there's that great book called Beyond Bullet Points, and it's really thick, but the gist is what you learned at your professional technical week-long training in Boise. See how I referenced it better? And that is, if you say, there's a great new idea, have your slide be a light bulb, and then have all your text, and if you even want to hand them the text, because you might say, this one website, like, by the way, did you get my email last night?
Yes.
And it has all the websites. So, give that to people. That's fine, because otherwise you're wasting your time going, www what? And so I'm not against PowerPoints and
Did you
handing
put that one
out.
in there with finger counting?
Yes. Oh, isn't that
I
beautiful?
like that.
I just love that one. Yeah. Okay, so we read this thing about excellence. We read the articles about great teachers. We've talked about all the characteristics of great teachers, and there's so many strategies. And you've said that a great teacher is caring, and we had that article, Great Teachers Don't Teach, talking about putting learning back in the hands of the students. That's why discussion is so important. That's why having time to let people form their ideas and create, and we call it construct their own knowledge. That's why constructing their own knowledge is so important, because that's how we learn. It isn't the empty head, pour the information, close it, take a test. So it does take time, but that's how we learn. Your hands-on welding, your hands-on building, creating, learning terms and concepts and philosophies. And many of you are asking million-dollar questions of, well, how do you apply this into this? The philosophy into action. And so that's what it's all about, is learning how to transition to that. So you say, excellence. All teachers struggle, great teachers persevere. Nice codifying. She says. What do you think? Persevere.
Yeah, you do.
Tenacity means
Persevere.
Persevering. And I think more than just persevering, they refocus, they
Yes.
readjust their attitude, because
through
they,
this.
otherwise they would continue probably to go down that path of,
Right.
this is so frustrating, overwhelming, and you can get into a really negative type of.
Get a mentor, get a coach, have someone observe your teaching.
So you do what it takes to then succeed.
I mean, I think we have to adjust according to the weather. I say the
Adjust.
weather, the classroom, and, whatever it is. I mean, if you have all smart kids in your class, then you're gonna be teaching smart stuff. But if you have a mix of a little bit of everything, you gotta kind of tone it down so you don't lose those. One of the things in that article was that leave no children behind,
Right.
or students. But
And you all wanted to know from us the balance, right? And there's that balance of how much sitting, how much standing, how much think, pair, share. Are they gonna groan? Oh, do we have to think, pair, share again? You don't want to overdo some of your strategies either, but you want lots of discussion, and some people don't. Some people are like, no, let me just read the book and take the test. But most people don't learn that way. We learn through relationship. We're born into a relationship from the time our mothers hold us. Everything is about relationship. We're designed. Very few people cannot live in a relationship. Monks work at it, but then they live together, so they're in a relationship. Bilateral humanity. What's that?
So.
Bilateral. Yeah.
Well, no, it's kind of like, there's two sides to the relationship, right? There's the teacher and the student. And it seems from what we're reading and what we're looking at, the best teachers understand their student as a full human and allow their students to understand them as a full human.
Oh, right on.
And so it's kind of humanity on both sides of the relationship there.
because in one of these earlier articles, it talked about being human, that we are human beings, we do make mistakes, we don't know it all, you know?
Great teachers don't teach. You don't, I like that. Persevere, tenacity, humanity, bilateral humanity. Authentic passion organization. Tell us about that.
It seems to be a set of themes we see over and over, and that's not bad or anything, it's just something I noticed. Even when talking to my friends last night, I asked a bunch of friends that question: what makes a great teacher?
Oh,
And
yes.
without any prompting, all of them gave me something on this list.
Without any training? They didn't go to college to be a teacher?
No,
Is that your outside source too for your?
it is
Good.
actually.
Good. I like that when people do that.
I asked a number of friends with a bunch of different educational backgrounds, tried to get them all one-on-one and ask them the same question without any previous prompting at all, just to see what they told me.
Uh-huh.
And all of them gave me something on that list, and almost all of them were something relating to one of those three things, which is something you see.
And this is authentic, right?
Right, authentic.
Uh-huh.
So like, people who are very genuine, people who are passionate about teaching and their subject matter.
I don't have genuine, do I? I know we've talked about human and vulnerable, but we don't have authentic and genuine. Go on, I'm sorry, Brian.
Teachers who are, well, actually, one of my friends that I asked that was a teacher said that one of the things that she found most challenging was just trying to stay organized and on task throughout the entire day. She was a high school teacher. It's long days.
Organized and on task the entire day, and what was number
Yeah.
5? Plan every minute. I do. Well, you overplan too, because you want to allow for this organic, meaningful discussion to happen. And then, but you have to balance it too. You have to measure, is it going too long? Or, you know, have we exhausted it enough?
Right.
And all this comes from, none of you wrote a Carnegie grant through the Gates Foundation and got your PhD and did experiments on what makes a great teacher, did you? And yet, year after year, this is what people tell me. There's a research project right there. All right, we're gonna take a 2-minute break to have Kip's set up, but as we transition into that, is there anything you wanna say, burning things?